Hey, what is up? It's your boy, Megabone, and I have mental illness. That aside, it's nice to be able to record again. I'd originally put off recording because of personal stuff, but I'm not getting into all of that boring shit because you came here for the raw, unfiltered, uncensored attempt at a reasonable discussion about the same Inktober discourse we go through each year. Now, I have very little stakes in this whole debacle since I can't ever seem to will myself to finish a month-long draw meme. Mostly because I find pushing myself beyond what I find fun and enjoyable, it kind of loses its purpose since I'm just a hobbyist. That doesn't mean I'm not going to push myself out of my comfort zone to keep my skills up, but you've seen, I draw basically the same 5 OCs like 80 million times. You know how that goes. And on top of this, I use both traditional and digital mediums pretty evenly, so unlike other topics, my bias for who I've started batting for in the beginning of this, it was pretty low. It was about even. And I don't see a lot of reason for the debate to exist at all, even though we have it every year, and I doubt that it'll change for years to come. So I'm leaving my opinion about this and dipping out before shit gets rough, because there has been nothing much going on lately, and since Tumblr scared off all its artists onto Twitter, thus causing a conflict between the hyper-edgy quote-unquote professionals and Tumblr exiles who conflate any differentiation between beginner and master to be ableist, I hope you guys have your storm shelters ready because I expect a great drama hurricane to begin brewing around October 3rd at the latest. If you magically somehow don't know what I'm talking about at all, Inktober is a yearly drawing meme that is held every October where artists primarily use ink to draw using the prompts of the day. The official rules are: 1. Make a drawing in ink. You could use a pencil under the drawing if you want. 2. Post it. 3. Hashtag it with Inktober and Inktober 2019. Repeat. Some people, for reasons we'll get into later, take issue with the first rule, which is you have to use ink. Seems weird to me to take issue when it's called Inktober. You know what? I'm not going to get into that. We have plenty of time before that happens. So, before I say anything about my opinion, let's look at the two major points. Two biggest sides of the argument and make all. I can then make my end-all be-all decision on who's right, and if you don't agree with me, you're wrong and smelly and bad. First, let's provide the quote-unquote official Inktober position by the creator themselves. RE, can I draw digitally for Inktober? The spirit of Inktober is self-improvement, and there's no better way to master your craft than to draw without a safety net. Working digitally usually means using Control-Z a bunch, so you get your line just right, and that can enable someone to develop bad drawing habits. There's no feeling like making a permanent line and knowing you can't change it without consequence. I think that's how you improve and get better, because every ink line that's put down on your paper forces you to think, commit, and adapt. No one's going to stop you from doing Inktober on your iPad. Just know that it goes on for a bit. But basically, it's just, sure, you can use digital, but you're kind of missing the point. And honestly, I had my hot take pants all ready to go, but this is the most mild stance on this situation possible. I mean, from the way that people both defended and derided his stance, you'd think he was up and out unofficially banning digital works from being included, but this is like, shit, all right. Okay, whatever. What does the other side have? How bad could it possibly be? Give me your worst. Give me your worst. Oh, I don't want any of these. Okay. So, there's a lot of commentary on this over the years, but there's two major points that persist, and I'll only really touch on one in this video because I am not myself disabled, so I don't really have much to say about that subject. And if someone who can make a really good argument for that, then I'm heavily inclined to listen. But something I've noticed is that the same people that claim ableism, like a lot of them, not all of them, a lot of them that claim ableism over this issue are pretty quick to abandon it and goalpost move the conversation from ableism to classism, which is, okay, I'm going to level with you. Until global warming really hits its stride and normal paper is like $1 a sheet, digital art will never be cheaper than traditional. The only two things you need for this challenge are pen and paper. And keep in mind, he never said that you could not post digital art under the Inktober tag. Though we have Drawtober, so aside from cross-promoing, I'm not sure why you would do that. And for doing even just non-screen tablet digital art, you need to use the tablet, the computer, and let's say use Fire Alpaca so you don't spend money on that, and Wi-Fi for the month. So let's say you got the tablet from a friend and this current computer setup will last you about 3 years and it's pretty cheap and you don't have to replace any parts yet. And even minimizing all those costs, it's going to average out about around $33 a month if you're really getting a good deal. I did the math for a cheap iPad, not like an iPad Pro, just one that's compatible with the iPencil like I use, and it still averaged at about $33 a month. Because even with roommates, Wi-Fi is going to be fucking expensive. And for traditional art, let's calculate out the costs. That's for me a max of $2.50. With the Wi-Fi expense, if you're not posting from somewhere with free Wi-Fi, that's going to be $22.50. Significantly less. A whole $6.50 less. And you still have leftover supplies after that. This isn't coming from some hoity-toity rich fuck attitude. I have been pretty poor most of my life, and most of the places I go, there is shit tons of free pens and paper. How do I know? A lot of times, I didn't have the money or access to a pack of pens and sketchbook from Dollar Tree. I just walked into a bank and took a pen, and I was good for a month. I drew on napkins, I drew on receipts, I drew on scratch paper from the backs of coupons people threw away at work. That one was last week. Not much has changed. But come on, don't piss on my head and tell me it's raining. There is no world where digital art is cheaper than traditional. Even if you fuck up a bunch, it'll almost always be the cheaper alternative. And guess what? That's what the challenge is supposed to help you with. It's supposed to make you focus on the purpose and flow of the lines, on the consequence of drawing with a limited amount of redos. And if you aren't at all concerned with the original purpose of the challenge and just want to post digital stuff in the tag, then I have to ask, why are you making a fuss in the first place? After all, chances are no one's going to specifically ask you to give an excuse as to why you're not doing traditional art. Not a single person. Digital art is usually the preferred medium. And I don't know anyone else in real life who has a dip pen set. So I don't understand the thought process that traditional art is insanely expensive. Also, you can post your 800 million color digital painting under the Inktober tag, and sure, maybe you'll get an asshole or two, but it's the internet and they'd probably harass you even if you use traditional. No one's going to break into your house and smash your computer for posting digital in the Inktober tag. And also, again, there's Drawtober tag specifically if you want to completely avoid this situation and you want to put yourself out there, but you're afraid of jackasses from 4chan or whatever. And I think my biggest issue with all this is that it reminds me of this stupid bullshit, this popular line of thought that's pretty common amongst us childrens who grew up on Tumblr, and it's seeing something popular that you don't like, and instead of just defending your right to not like literally everything ever, you just try and wokeify your reasoning for not liking something. For example, God, there's two shows that they ended within a year of each other, and they both have something to do with space and friendship, and one of them's something war crimes, something hates the Irish. God, they're on the tip of my tongue. I guess we'll never know what I was talking about. But an example for normal people would be when people were trying to cancel Lil Nas X for saying Islamophobic things in his teens, which, yeah, it was really troubling, but he immediately apologized for them, and through not being a huge shithead, has proved that he's changed pretty considerably. And also on the list of cancelable offenses, we had he hadn't come out as gay yet, which is apparently something to cancel people over now. This isn't to say that something can't be criticized if it's popular or progressive, but like, come on. You don't have to defend every single choice you make on whether it's woke or not. And just like these examples, you have something popular, Inktober, and a lot of people who seem to need to justify why they don't want to participate when they could just say that they don't want to and they don't feel like it, but doesn't get enough attention, doesn't get the points, doesn't get the clicks, the views. And again, I don't know 100% for sure if the ableism thing holds up or holds much water. And if anyone wants to correct me on that, feel free. But from a lot of the disabled people that I follow on Tumblr, they say otherwise. And if anyone wants to correct me on it, you can feel free. But we know for sure that claiming that the challenge is classist is dumb as hell and doesn't make any fucking sense once you look at it. So in summary, I don't care if you post digital in the Inktober tag. It's sort of missing the point, but I'm not the internet police. I'm not going to gun you down in the street for self-promoting. If you decide to start drama about it, though, I will block you. Especially me, myself. I'm blocking myself on all platforms, and I'll be forever logged out and in the woods.
So originally I was gonna film this out in the woods as a whole bit, but it's been raining all day. It feels like I'm in Seattle or some shit, so that's not gonna happen. But really though, unless I drastically change my opinion on this, this is my first and final word on the whole issue, so unless I do the challenge at some point, don't expect me to ever talk about Inktober ever again. Okay, you can click away now. I'm gonna talk about my personal life, so you guys don't care. Anyways, I've been super inactive because I've been between apartments, and I thought it was gonna take 2 months, but it's taking a lot longer than that. And between trying to do work and commissions, it's kind of hard to make videos, so I just got really lazy and stopped. And also, most of the art that I've been doing is not exactly safe for YouTube, so there's not a lot of stuff that I could just throw on and talk in the background of. Also, I forgot, I did have one thing that I was actually making for this video, this right here, and I did it because it was supposed to be based off of the prompt for today, for the first day of Inktober, and I was going to do that, and then a regular sketch version of it, but I ended up losing the recording for that, which really sucks. But I hope you guys have a great rest of the best month of the year, and I'll see you soonish.